Welcome to this explainer on the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The biggest stage gets bigger. The tournament is officially here, and wow, we are witnessing an event of an entirely unprecedented scale across North America. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this is the most logistically complex tournament in football history. We'll cover everything from the raw numbers and the sheer geography down to the brand new tournament structure and, of course, the early drama that's already unfolding on the pitch. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. 48. That is the magic number for 2026. We're moving away from the classic 32-team format we've known for decades, and this groundbreaking 50% expansion brings a massive shift. It totally opens the door for more global representation, meaning nations that have historically kind of been on the fringes of qualification finally get to step right into the global spotlight. But as you can imagine, bringing in all these extra competing teams creates a huge cascading effect on literally every single aspect of the tournament's design, organization, and scheduling.
And that brings us directly to our next staggering number: 104 total matches. I mean, that is a sheer, unrelenting volume of football. Squeezing 104 games into a really high-octane 39-day marathon, that means this is going to be the absolute ultimate test of physical endurance and squad depth for any team aiming for the final. It's just nonstop action from the opening whistle all the way to the final lifting of the trophy.
So to pull off 104 matches, you obviously need a huge geographic footprint across our three co-hosts. Now, while the action actually kicked off down in Mexico City, Mexico and Canada are handling a solid 13 matches each. But the United States? They are taking the lion's share with 78 matches, including every single game from the quarterfinals onward. It's honestly this immense logistical puzzle of cross-country flights, totally different climates, and just massive stadium operations.
So, the crucial point is how this huge expansion alters the fundamental structure of the tournament itself. The group stage now funnels everyone into a brand new knockout round, the round of 32. The math here is simple, but man, it's ruthless. The top two teams from each group automatically advance, and they're joined by the 8 best-ranked third-place finishers. What this means is it keeps group stage tension incredibly high right up until the final whistle, because a decent goal difference can actually keep your survival hopes alive even if you stumble a bit early on.
Well, let's transition from that macro logistics view right down to the micro action on the pitch. This opening weekend was a breathless coast-to-coast sprint. Up in Vancouver, Australia cleanly dispatched Turkey 2-0. Over on the East Coast in Boston, Scotland secured a really tight 1-0 victory against Haiti. And then we saw identical 1-1 deadlocks in both New York and New Jersey between Brazil and Morocco, and out in the Bay Area between Qatar and Switzerland. It's a snapshot that just perfectly captures the wild, continent-spanning nature of this World Cup.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the human narratives behind these early results. Take Australia, for example. They didn't just win, they got off to an absolute flying start with fantastic goals from Nestor Irankunda and Connor Metcalf. But the emotional high point, that absolutely has to be Scotland. That 1-0 edge over Haiti wasn't just 3 points, it was a triumphant return to the World Cup stage after a heartbreaking 28-year absence. For their fans, that single goal was literally nearly 3 decades in the making. Just incredible.
And this brilliantly illustrates the intense level of competition right out of the gate. You've got global heavyweight Brazil facing off against a fiercely talented Morocco squad in New Jersey. It was an absolute battle, ending in a super intense 1-1 draw. And we saw a very similar story unfolding in California, where Qatar and Switzerland fought really hard to share the points in another 1-1 tie. What we're seeing here is that top-tier teams are facing incredibly tough point-sharing resistance in their opening bouts. There are absolutely no easy games in this expanded format, and the tactical discipline across the board is phenomenally high.
Well, let's move forward and see how this builds into tonight's schedule, because the momentum doesn't stop. Later tonight, all eyes are going to shift to Group E in Houston, where we'll see European powerhouse Germany step onto the stage against Curaçao at 10 p.m. PKT. This right here is exactly the kind of dynamic that makes the World Cup so magical. Can the traditional giant assert their dominance early, or will this expanded field allow for a shocking upset under the Friday night lights in Texas? We'll have to wait and see.
Zooming back out to our macro perspective for a second, it's vital to remember the sheer duration of this event. We started back on June 11th with that totally electric atmosphere at the Estadio Azteca. We're currently navigating the frantic pace of the mid-June group stage, but the ultimate destination, the real pinnacle of world football, won't be reached until July 19th for the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. It is a long 39-day road. Teams have to peak at exactly the right time, manage injuries, navigate those vast travel distances we talked about, and survive that brand new round of 32 just to earn the right to play in that final match.
which kind of leaves us pondering the ultimate question of this tournament. With a massive 48-team field, an unprecedented 104 matches, continent-spanning travel, and a grueling new knockout format, who truly has the stamina, the depth, and the tactical brilliance to conquer the biggest World Cup in history? The answer to that question is going to unfold over the next month of breathtaking football. Keep your eye on the pitch as we witness history in the making. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and enjoy the rest of the tournament.